I hope people would take from the argument in this book is to recognize something about Darwin himself, and that is that the books he wrote are exceedingly complex. As a result, they are very rarely read from cover to cover, if at all, as Richard Dawkins himself admits in The Selfish Gene. And they say much more than we are told they say. There's much more in Darwin than we think we've been told there is, than we've been taught there is. At least that's true of myself. They do not have a single message and cannot be summed up by one or two quotations. The great literary scholar Gillian Beer compares Darwin's best books to the novels of his contemporary Charles Dickens. The pages regale us with so much material, so many characters, many of them animals and plants, so many ideas that we get a first impression of a blooming, buzzing confusion, a jungle without design. It is only gradually and retrospectively, Beer says, that the force of Darwin's arguments emerges from the profusion of hypotheses and examples. That said, the first thing I would like readers to take from my book is that Darwin laid the groundwork for a psychology which is entirely new when looked at from today's perspective. It is based on evolutionary theory in a way that fits better with 21st century biology than that of the last century, and it concludes that most human behavior cannot be explained by natural selection. Regarding method, Darwin stresses that, as in sciences like chemistry and taxonomy, psychology must set out by constructing an adequate description of the universe of human action it wants to investigate before it starts hypothesis testing. Finally, in complete contrast to modern psychology, Darwin's psychology makes humans primarily group animals. Group psychology, not individual psychology, comes first. Individuals are secondary. Only slowly do you and I become individuals or individuate from the various groups we belong to.